Part 1. The Wave. Yet cease your ire, you angry stars of heaven. Wind, rain, and thunder, remember, earthly man is but a substance that must yield to you, and I, as fits my nature, do obey you. Alas, the sea hath cast me on the rocks, washed me from shore to shore, and left me breath, nothing to think on but ensuing death. William Shakespeare, Pericles, Act 2, Scene 1. Chapter 1. England, Dad's Dream. April 1975 to June 1976, 6 to 7 years old. Warwick. When we lived in England, my days had a familiar rhythm. Each morning my mother flung open the curtains in my room, and I tugged my school jumper over my head and pulled on my skirt before tumbling downstairs to eat cereal with my younger brother John. After school, we'd play on the swing in our garden or crouch by the stream at its far end to watch dragonflies hovering above the gold-green surface. By the time we were back inside, my father would be home from his work managing Warwick Castle and would often be counting gold Krugerrands on the kitchen table, packing them away ready for his next trip to London. He could make a lot of money buying these when they were cheap and selling them when the price went up, he'd told us. And the best way to carry them was in a shoebox, because who would guess that a shoebox was full of gold? Over dinner, my parents would discuss the latest dramas at the Tudor House Hotel that they also owned and ran. Perhaps the chef had thrown a knife at a waitress again, though he never seemed to hit any of them. After that, it would be time to clamber back upstairs, put on my nightdress, find Teddy, my small brown bear, and get into bed. I was used to this rhythm. I liked it and thought it would never change. Then one morning over breakfast, my father announced that we were going to sail around the world. I paused, a spoonful of cornflakes halfway to my mouth. We're going to follow Captain Cook, Dad said. After all, we share the captain's surname, so who better to do it? He picked up his cigarette and leaned back in his seat. Are you joking? I asked. Next to me, John watched Dad, his lips parted. Not at all, said my father, puffing out a cloud of smoke. I'm deadly serious. But why? Well, someone needs to mark the 200th anniversary of Cook's third voyage, don't they? He said, raising his eyebrows at my mother. Of course they do, Gordon, said Mum. She returned his smile, covering her mouth with her hand, making it harder to see the tooth she'd broken while riding John's tricycle at a party a few days before. At the time, my brother had been unhappy that she borrowed his bike. She should have taken yours, he'd said. Though maybe it didn't matter anymore. I've told you kids about the captain, said Dad, stubbing out his cigarette in the ashtray, twisting it back and forth before returning to his coffee. He was an incredible man. The people who were going to recreate his first and second voyages didn't get their act together in time, so this is the last opportunity. Your father has found 6 people to come with us and contribute to the costs, said Mum. But what will happen to the hotel? Dad turned to look at me. The Tudor House? We'll sell it to buy the boat. We'll have to sell everything to pay for this voyage. It will be worth it, though, won't it, Mary? Of course it will. My father was talking again. How long will we be gone? I asked when he paused. 3 years. We'll leave next July, exactly 200 years after Captain Cook. By the time we get back, you'll have seen more places than most people will visit in a lifetime. We'll sail down to South America, then cross the Atlantic Ocean to South Africa and Australia. From there, it's on to Hawaii and Russia. The clock was ticking on the wall. I looked out the window at the empty swing. Dad had taken us sailing before, but this was different. But kids, he said, lowering his voice, you must keep the trip secret. I don't want anyone to know about it, particularly the hotel staff. You mustn't even mention it to your friends. Mum looked up. Come on, she said, pushing back her chair. We're going to be late for school. I lingered. Sue, hurry up, she said, heading towards the hall. I followed her out, leaving my father reading the newspaper. I was almost at the car when I turned back, coming to a halt in the kitchen doorway. Dad, I said, can I help sail the boat? I mean, really help if we go.